Hello friends, in this video lecture we are going to learn about the system reliability. So before understanding the system reliability, first of all we must know how to find out reliability of a particular component because in a system number of components are connected to each other. Those are connected maybe in any form like maybe in series, maybe in parallel or combination of series and parallel. But before calculating the system reliability, first of all we have to understand the reliability of every component and how to find out that. Already we discussed in the last video lecture how to find out reliability of each component. The reliability of each component can be calculated using failure data analysis. In failure data analysis, we take number of components and then we carry out the failure analysis. Then we note down the failure time of each component, and once you get the data of failure of each component for that particular sample size, we can easily find out the failure of every component. And once you find out failure of every component, we can easily find out reliability of every component because there is relation between failure rate and the reliability. Okay, so once you calculate the reliability of every component, then we have to put those components in a particular form so that it will become a system. For example, let us consider a lathe machine. In a lathe machine, there are a number of components like headstock is there, tailstock is there, your carriage is there. Carriage consists of cross slide, compound rest. Then many other components are also there. All those components are connected in different ways to each other. Like headstock and the tailstock, those are connected parallelly because there is no direct connection between those two. So we may say that those two components are in parallel. Whereas in headstock, there is a spindle which is connected to the your driving head, or you can say your gearbox, and that spindle is also connected to the chuck. So therefore, chuck, that spindle, the gearbox, all the gears, then shaft in the gearbox, all are connected in the series. If one fails, the entire headstock will fail. But suppose if you consider these two, headstock and tailstock, if tailstock fails, there is no problem on the headstock. If headstock fails, there is no problem on the tailstock. It means that headstock and tailstock are parallel, and the elements in the headstock all are in series. One fails, the entire system will fail. So we can say those are in the series. Okay, so that way we have to analyze the system reliability. First of all, we have to find out whether the components are in series or parallel. If those are in series, how to find out reliability? If those are parallel, how to find out the reliability? If there is mixed configuration, series as well as parallel components are there, then how to find out the reliability? We have those examples also we are going to discuss in the video lecture. Okay, so already we discussed this particular thing. In engineering system, actually a particular system consists of number of components. Every component will have its own reliability, and then how those elements are connected to each other in the system. On the basis of that, we have to find out the reliability of the entire system. Okay, so um, we discussed that we can have series network, we can have parallel network, or we can have the combination of these two. Okay, so now what is series network and how these components are connected to each other, or how to draw the series network when you calculate the system reliability when the components are in series. For example, if suppose if you have three components, let us say this is component number one, second component, and third component. Let us say if you have three components and all these three components are in series, like spindle, gearbox, and the chuck. All these three are in the series. If spindle fails, there is no working of the headstock. If suppose the chuck fails, then there is no working of the headstock. If gearbox fails, then there is no working of the headstock. Okay, so we can say that these three components are in series. So the series network looks like this: one component, dash second component dash third component in this way. Then how to calculate the reliability of the system? So can you imagine if these three components are in series, and let us say that the reliability of first component is say zero point 0.9, that is 90%. Okay, reliability is always between 0 to 1. So let us consider the reliability of this component is zero point 0.9. This also same, and third is also same, zero point 0.9, zero point 0.9 and zero point 0.9. Okay, if suppose these three components are connected in the series, then what is the probability that the system will work? What is the probability that the system will work? Or what is the reliability of this entire system? So can you imagine in your mind that the system reliability of this particular configuration is less than zero point 0.9 definitely, because see all these three equipments or these components are independent. All these three components are independent. Okay, so even one fails, the entire system is going to be failed. It means that there is always a risk. There is always a risk. Even one fails, the entire system is failed. It means that the reliability is going to decrease if you are putting the components are in series. So in such cases, the reliability is calculated by just multiplying the reliabilities of every component to each other. Okay. So if suppose the first reliability is say zero point 0.9, let us say it is say your here given x1, second one is x2, third one is x3, then just multiplication of these three. If suppose in this case, let us say there are m number of components, this way, here mth component, then the system reliability can be calculated as rs gives the system reliability, which is equal to probability that the first will work, second will work, third will work, fourth will work, mth will work. So multiplication of all. So rs will be equal to p of x1 into p of x2 into p of x3. So this way we can calculate the system reliability when the components are connected in the series. Okay, this is very simple. So we are going to solve one problem also so that you will understand it better. So you can see here the system reliabilities. Okay, reliability of the first component, second component, third component, mth component. These are connected in series. Okay, so this is the network. Then RS will be equal to, now in this case it will be equal to, you may say R1 or P of 1 also, no problem, into, so it directly into R2 into this R3 and dash 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 into Rm. So all the reliabilities will be directly multiplied. Obviously what will happen, the as all these R1, R2, R3 are the values less than 1, so therefore the maximum reliability of the system will be always less than the minimum of these reliabilities. Again I will repeat the sentence, it's very important. When you multiply these numbers which are less than 1, then you will get this rs always less than the minimum of these reliabilities. Okay, when the components are connected in the series. Now second one, when the component are connected in parallel. Okay, before that we'll solve one problem to understand the concept of series. So assume an automobile has four independent and identical tires. The tire reliability is 0.97, that is 97%. If any one of the tire is punctured, the automobile cannot be driven. So already we discussed that even one component fails, if all other are failing, it means that those are in series. So calculate the automobile reliability with respect to tires. Okay, with respect to tires. So obviously we know that when the components are in series, then the reliability of the system is simply the multiplication of reliability of each component. So we have four tires, so each will have reliability of 0.97. So just multiply this 0.97 four times. Okay, so that's why the rs equal to 0.97 into 0.97 into 0.97 into 0.97 four times. You will get this reliability. And you can observe that this reliability is less than any of these numbers, 100%. You will observe. Okay, so you will get this reliability this way. So this is that simple to calculate the reliability of the system. Just we should know how the components are connected in the system. Okay. Now parallel network. So what happens in the parallel network? All those components are working together independently. Independently. Those components are working independently. Okay. At a time. This way. Let us say there are four components and the input is here. Input is here and output is here. Okay. Input is here and output is here. So this is the way we can show the parallel configuration for the reliability. Okay. For example, in automobile, let us consider the engine is working, the tires are working. Okay, engine is working, tires are working. Even though suppose tires are not working, engine may work. If suppose your engine is not working, tire may work. Okay, then any other like headlamps. Even suppose your engine is not working, tires are not working, but headlamp can work independently. So this is the way. If suppose if we consider these components, then we must put those components in parallel. Okay, because their operations are independent. So in such a cases, we show the components in the configuration this way, parallel configuration. Okay, then how to find out reliability of such a system? See, in this case, when the components are in parallel, then we have to first of all find out the failure. It means that, you know, even if suppose one component is running, it means that system is going to run. Okay, suppose this is failed, second one is failed, third one is failed, fourth one is failed, the first is working even though the system is working. If the first is failed but second is working, third and fourth are failed, even though system is going to work, even though the system is going to work. Okay, because all those are working parallelly, all those are working parallelly. Okay, so therefore, then in this case, the system reliability can be calculated using very simple concept, RS. RS. But before finding the RS, first of all, find out the failure rate. Failure. Let us find out failure. Failure of the system. So what will be failure of the system? If all the components are failed, then and then, if all the components are failed, then and then same system can fail. Okay, right? So you try to understand this sentence. If all the components are failed, then and then the system is failed. Okay, now it means the first component is failed, so we have to consider all the components failed. So let us consider the reliability of first is R1, reliability of first is R1. In the same way, reliability of second is R2, and so on, R3, R4. Okay, then the failure will be equal to 1 minus R1, right? If the reliability is R R1, then the failure is 1 minus R1 because the total must be equal to 1. And as we are considering the failure of all components at a time, it means that then we have to multiply all the failures. Okay, so 1 minus R2 into, in the same way, so these brackets will be as many as number of components, R3, 1 minus R3 into 1 minus R4, that way. And once you get the failure of the system, then reliability of system will be equal to simply 1 minus Fs. Simply 1 minus Fs. So whatever value you will get here, that will be deducted from 1. Okay. Now, so can you imagine here, if the components are connected parallel, the system reliability is going to increase, right? Because even one is working, all other are failed. Even though the system is working, two are working, no problem, it is working. So it means that there is always a more reliability or more probability that the system is working. It means that if you are putting the components in parallel, the system reliability is always increasing. Okay. Now, in the previous section, we had seen that when the components are connected in series, then the reliability of the system is always less than the minimum reliabilities of the components. Here, in parallel system, the reliability of system is always greater than maximum of the reliabilities of the components which are connected in the configuration. Okay, we can see the demonstration of this by solving one problem. Okay, so this is the network how we show when the components are connected in the parallel. Okay, so it is same already we have discussed. Okay, we'll discuss this plot later after solving this problem. Okay, so the example is that a computer has two independent and identical central processing units, CPUs, operating simultaneously. So you can see simultaneously is what is important. As those two components are operating simultaneously and independent, it means that the components are connected in series. At least one CPU must operate normally for the computer to function. So this sentence is also saying that the components are in parallel configuration. Okay. If the CPU reliability is 0.96, calculate the computer reliability with respect to the CPU. Okay. So one reliability is 0.96. So then we can find out the reliability of the computer or the system RS equal to 1 minus Fs, right? Failure of the system. And you know 1 minus Fs. So 1 minus Fs is what? It is nothing but the product of failures, that is 1 minus first, that is 0.96, right? And second is again multiply by 1 minus same 0.96. There are two CPUs. Failures of them are 1 minus those values of reliabilities. Okay, so it means that this will be equal to 1 minus this bracket 1 minus 0.96 bracket square. So the same is given over here. Okay, and you will get this reliability. Now you can observe this reliability. This reliability is greater than 0.96. Even if suppose this value is 0.99, you are going to definitely get the value more than 0.99 that way. So in parallel configurations, the reliability of the system is always greater than the maximum of reliability of the component in the configuration. Okay, so just before going into the next slide, we'll see the previous slide. Okay, that is the comparison. You can see here, if there is only one component, obviously if only one component, the system reliability will be equal to the same. So same means what? Exactly this way. Okay, if two components are there, you can see the rate of increase in the reliability is much more. If you are using three components, again the rate of reliability is increasing at a very rapid pace. 4, so this way, even if you add the fifth component, then reliability will be like this somehow. Okay, it means that you are going to attain the reliability of 1 in a very minimum period, or with minimum components we are going to attain the reliability near to 1 using parallel configurations. This is the meaning. Okay, so let us move towards this series parallel network. That is the combination of both series and parallel. Sometimes it may also happen, like even if you consider lathe machine, your automobile, your bike also, there are many systems available in the parent system. Like in your lathe machine, you can see headstock is there, tailstock is there. Headstock consists of some subsystems, that is gearbox. Gearbox also consists of gears, shafts. Those are connected in series. Then gearbox is in series with the your spindle is in series with your chuck. Then this entire assembly is in parallel with your carriage, and carriage is parallel with the tailstock. Again, carriage consists of subsystems which will be in series, like the carriage is mounted on your uh, lead screw. Again, lead screw is connected to the back to this headstock. So that way there may be the mixed configuration. Okay, then we have to put these components in that particular format. Okay, so the components which are in parallel we have to keep in parallel, then one system is in series with another system, that way. Now how to tackle such problems? If suppose such kind of problem is there and we have to find out system reliability. Now it is very simple how to calculate this. Okay, so in this case what we have to do? Okay, then reduce this particular system into series or parallel, simply into series or parallel. Okay, how? Let us consider this is the mixed configuration, series as well as parallel. Okay, now first of all you can see in this particular part how the system looks. It is parallel system. So can you calculate the reliability of this particular part only? Yes, we can easily find out the reliability of this part. How? Consider the failures. So here, the let us say R1 is the reliability of this particular first part, then it is equal to 1 minus failures. So in bracket, 1 minus reliability of this, okay, this reliability, say R1, okay, RS1, we'll say this as RS1, 1 minus R1 into 1 minus R2 into 1 minus R3 into 1 minus RK. So once you calculate this particular value, this value is of this system. Then replace this system with a simple single box. In that box, whatever you will get over here, RS1, you can put here that value. Okay. In the same way, for this second part, you can also calculate the system reliability, subsystem reliability. Okay. In the same way, then this will be replaced by a single box, which will have a certain value. Again, this can also be reduced to a single value by calculating the system subsystem reliability. Okay, so then at the end we'll have only these three boxes, and these three boxes are in series. And once you have these three in series, then simply multiply reliability of this into reliability of this into reliability of this. You will get the system reliability. So this is the way we calculate the system reliability. Okay, the more discussion will be in the later videos. We are going to meet again in the upcoming videos. So, but this is very basic and very important part of the system reliability, how to calculate and what are different configuration. Okay, and if suppose the configuration are mixed, then how to tackle the problems, right? So, thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much.